Alright, let's just real quick see and make sure everyone can hear me, right? Because right now I gotta check the chat window to make sure actually people can actually hear me. And I got like 2 chat windows open on 2 monitors here, so, you know, we're off to a great start here. Loud and clear. Alright, if the audio is in any way a problem, let me know and I will adjust that. So first of all, I just want to apologize to people about the fact that my voice is kind of gone. I was finally able to record parts of the 500th episode last night, and in case you haven't heard, we're delaying that until Wednesday because my voice basically went out. I got sick, had to delay it because I couldn't record it, and now it's gone out again just from me recording so much of it. It's a long one. So we're going to have fun today. We're going to play a bunch of videos. We're going to do Q&A. We're going to do Jackbox games later. We're going to do a live commentary of the Top the Fourth Wall movie with some cast members. We're going to do the finale of Pokemon Omicron. I know that some of that a lot of the episodes of Pokemon Omicron have not gone up yet, but we're going to do the Elite Four run and finally end that. And I don't know if he's still with me in like audio, but we got the game show reviewer here who's also helping moderate.
Howdy, y'all. Game show reviewer here.
Yeah, I don't know if the audio... again, let us know if the audio is too loud or anything like that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hope they can hear you.
Likewise.
So we're going to get things started here with just some Q&A. So I got the chat window open. I will take some questions, and you'll hopefully answer them. And thank you all for coming out here and enjoying this. Also, Super Chat is enabled, so if you want to do that, I'm not going to stop you. I also apologize if I, cough and stuff during this. That's my opinion on the current Titans books. I'm loving the current Titans books. I don't know how I feel about the Justice League disbanding the Titans in the most recent issues, but because that seems a little out of character for Nightwing to accept that. But the story itself has been enjoyable. It's always great to see Monsieur Mala and the Brain again, so that was good. Yes, I have heard of Akiba Ranger, and I'm not doing anything like that for History of Power Rangers, so sorry. Did you go out for a Free Comic Book Day? Yes, I did go to Free Comic Book Day. Yeah, even with slow mode, chat's moving pretty quickly. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I prefer to keep it ambiguous as to whether or not Linkara is married to Vega as well. I mean, for all you know, Linkara is actually married to the Cinema Snob.
I think that was the running fan theory, if I remember right.
It was, because Brad and I both had our weddings on the same weekend.
Right.
I like your Halloween crap. Thank you. I like my Halloween crap, too. Favorite MCU movie? I want to say Captain America: The First Avenger, because it was just so good. And what's funny is Chris Evans getting to redeem himself after Human Torch, and just that perfect casting after everything. It's so amazing that it's on like Christopher Reeve's level of perfect casting. Never gonna get anyone as perfect as that again, kind of thing.
I saw someone up there asked about the ISO logo, why it has established 2006. I really just made that up when I was putting the lettering around it, because the patch has 6 stars, and usually patches and that have meaning behind the lettering and such. So that's why I just decided to make it established 2006.
Linkara doesn't fear Halloween. Linkara fears all the crap that happens around Halloween. He's become genre savvy to it.
Vega's even more genre savvy.
Do you like Gundam or just do the original? I love Gundam. Unfortunately, I am more a casual fan, so There's lots of series I haven't watched. There's lots of series I have watched. The funny thing I always like to think about in terms of Gundam is that back in my day, back in caveman times, G Gundam was actually considered the black sheep of Gundam because it was so different from all the other Gundam series. Gundam Wing was still the most popular at the time, and nowadays that position is kind of reversed. That's just fascinating to me. No, I will not do History of Kamen Rider. I'm just not interested in Kamen Rider.
But you do have the potential of doing history of Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, if I remember right.
Yep, that's one of like the bigger Patreon goals, which I just realized for the scroller we should have added like, contribute to the Patreon.
You had to remember that just right now.
Jeez, CJ, you put together all these wonderful graphics, all this, the spinning logo with the Atop the Fourth Wall 500th, everything on there, and then you had to mess it all up.
It's all ruined.
Everything is ruined forever.
All right,
Holy crap!
I'm going back to my own time now.
Okay, that's super chat. Is HUF a different? I'm assuming that's a different currency.
Probably.
Because that was like 400. I don't know what the equivalent of that is in here. This is the first time I've ever done a YouTube live stream. The last live streams we've done were usually Pokemon Omicron on Twitch. Okay, so it looks like it's more if the coloring system is to be believed, assuming they're similar colors, it's probably more like just a few bucks, which I'll take that. Will I read Ronin? I'm assuming you're referring to the Frank Miller comic. Yes, eventually we're going to do Ronin on Miller Time.
And I'm having to refresh the chat window every few seconds because it keeps the colors keep going black on me. So I'm not sure if I'm just lagging behind or what. But
I'm just happy that we didn't have to reconfigure the chat window after starting stuff. HUF 400 is about $100.50. You know what?
Yeah.
Any money is good, so I will take it. Let's see. For a stream, do you think it's weird to watch Power Rangers if you're teenagers? No, not at all. Power Rangers is an all-ages show. Some of it, when it's presented, is more mature than others. I have not seen Batman Ninja, so I have no opinions about that. Who monitors the monitors? Steve. 400 is a Hungarian forint is what that's called. That's cool. I have Hungarian fans.
This is being streamed from his office, but you are watching it aboard Comicron 1.
Yes. Got 10 euros. Thoughts on Hasbro buying Power Rangers? I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not that savvy about a lot of stuff like that, about business deals and everything like that. And I don't know how well Hasbro has handled its own franchises in recent years. I'd like to think that it's going to go really well. I mean, it's probably a good shot in the arm. Saban we thought was going to be a nice shot in the arm when they brought it back, but it's been... have I seen DC... what was there was a question about the question. I'm going to try to scroll back up and see that. Have I seen DC's run of the question? You'll have to be more specific because there's a few of those. DC has had several question series. There's like the original Denny O'Neil one. There was when Renee Montoya took over. There's been a few things with the question. I like the question in general. I mostly liked Vic Sage more because I was more familiar with him than I was with Renee. Have I read the Power Rangers comic by Boom Studios? Unfortunately, I've only read a smattering of issues. I've started reading Shattered Grid because Shattered Grid, but yeah, I love the ones I've read so far. What do you think about Jason Todd in current comics? I haven't actually seen Jason do a lot of stuff in current stuff outside of when the New 52 started. He's appeared in a few Bat crossovers. He was fine there, but honestly, I don't like Jason Todd as a hero. I much prefer him as a villain or an anti-hero. Well, I suppose he's still an anti-hero, but still, you know what I mean. Thoughts on DC's Amekame Girl series? No real thoughts. And thank you, Sean Z, for just a super chat contribution without any kind of question. That's still cool. I haven't read any of the Ame comic girls. I've kind of just seen them and stuff, so I have no real strong opinions about it. Your favorite Marvel writer and artist? Ooh. Well, I suppose since Gail Simone is now a Marvel writer, I'll go with that. Yeah, I don't know about a Marvel artist though. Dang it. I do love. Oh, actually, I love the writing and art on Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Thank you, Ruined Queens of Oblivion, also giving me money without a question. I should probably actually list the names off of people, but you know, this is going fast.
Yeah, I know.
Any thoughts on Star Trek Countdown? I'd stay tuned this year. What's your opinion on Tim Drake? Tim Drake is great. Gotta love Tim. Skype thing over here on this one.
I like that Five Dragons. My theory is that Cinema Snob married Fat Grandma.
Streaming. Yeah, it's Nash, and we'll talk more in a minute. Few minutes. Because eventually we're going to start playing some videos here just for your delectation. Am I reading Miss Marvel? Yes, I am. I am a few issues behind. I'm a few issues behind on a lot of things. I just recently got caught up with Action Comics, so I could read the 1000th issue. That was a pleasant sound. What are your thoughts on Power Rangers Hyperforce? Haven't watched any of it. Favorite atop the fourth wall character to play as? It varies from day to day. Maybe Ninja Style Dancer because I don't have to speak. No. I love playing 90s Dude. I love doing Moarte. Though usually after I do Moarte, I have the same voice issues. Hey, Lister Cards, Cloud and Founders Up. It's been a fan since around the Entity arc and love the minutes far. What do you consider? Will you ever cover JLA Superpower? I am not familiar with JLA Superpower, so I do not know if I'm ever going to cover that.
Now, here's a question for you: is "quote unquote" Linkara? Do you consider Linkara a character of Atop the Fourth Wall?
Yes, I do. Because Linkara is a lot more exaggerated than I tend to be. I mean, I'm pretty boisterous and open about my opinions, but he's still definitely more over the top. And plus, I don't have magic guns in real life.
What do you mean you don't have magic guns? You're breaking the illusion, dude.
I know, right? Someone was asking about Magic the Gathering comic. I might, but I have no immediate plans to do so, mostly because I am so unfamiliar with Magic the Gathering. I tried to play the card game a few times, and despite the fact that I have a background in Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, I just was not able to get into Magic. It just kept flying over my head. Let's see. What do I think of Star Trek Discovery? I liked Star Trek Discovery, for the most part. This is a series that did not need to be a prequel. In fact, a lot of the continuity issues with it would be fixed if it was not a prequel. Will Lord Vice return? I don't know. I have no plans to do so right now. Have you seen Justice League Doom, and what's your opinion on it as an adaptation? I have not seen Justice League Doom. Going back to Discovery, loved the Mirror Universe arc. Loved the Mirror Universe uniforms; those were really cool.
Oh, likewise.
Excuse me. Favorite Alan Moore comic? Probably. Not Watchmen. Tom Strong. Tom Strong is great. Let's see. What was Discovery thoughts? Yeah, if you had set this post Voyager, it would have fixed so many problems with the series continuity wise. Instead of making it be Sarek's surrogate not surrogate daughter, a surrogate dogger. Instead of being the adopted daughter, it'd be Tuvok's adopted daughter, and that I think would have had a connection to previous Trek, and still made a lot of sense. Someone was asking if I'm ever going to review Lightbringer or TF2. No and no. Well, I mean, not the game TF2. If someone patroned the TF2 comics, but no, I'm not going to do Lightbringer because I did it mostly for my own fan enjoyment kind of thing, as a superhero and comic fan, and it was crap. Lightbringer is garbage. I freely admit it. I probably, if I ever wanted to go back to it, I probably could do a lot better job of it nowadays because I'm a better writer. Well, better writer. Hey, Harper's Hat, still stupid or less so? Roy Harper's Hat is still incredibly stupid. Hmm. The fact that my voice has not just already died. Yeah, Lightbringer. I actually did technically do a little bit of a review of early Lightbringer in my Black Web #1 episode. Because Black Web's artwork was so amateurish, I couldn't help but compare it to my own crappy artwork. Do you like the Marvel Teen Titans, The Champions? I have not read The Champions, so I would not know. What do you think of Justice League action? I've not seen any Justice League action either. I feel like an asshole because like people are asking for me for opinions on things I've never read or seen. Brian Michael Bendis coming to DC. I don't know if I would have put him on Superman. I would have put him on Batman definitely because Bendis tends to like the street level stuff better than the big stuff like Superman does. I missed that last super chat question, so let me see if I can get that one. Which do you prefer, Connor Kent Superboy or John Kent Superboy? I myself love John but Connor will always be my first. Could you do it atop the fourth wall on DC 1 million? That's an idea. I have no immediate plans to do so, but I do like the idea of doing the DC 1 million stuff, but with the top of the fourth wall. Maybe I'll show like 1 million episodes in the future kind of thing with that.
Now that'd be entertaining.
I have no real strong thoughts on Super Sons. Just didn't really grab me like other stuff did. I have no personal preference on one Superboy over the other. I like both of them. Have I watched the Orville yet? No, I have not. I'm sure I will eventually. I hear such good things about it. It's just like, it's not Star Trek. I mean, sure, even my brother has said this is what Star Trek should be because he doesn't like Discovery. Even he's like, this is what Star Trek should be right now. It's actually much more optimistic and much feels more like Star Trek. But it still doesn't have Star Trek's name on it. I know that's petty, but because it's not, it's how I feel.
Hey, remember how you got me to watch Star Trek or Stargate Universe? Just assume it's a science fiction show in the Stargate universe, effectively. Now here, basically do the reverse of that. You're right. It's not Star Trek. Now just watch it as its own merit.
I do have to just watch it on its own merits. Let's see. Will I ever do? Can you do a top fourth wall Steven Universe #1? As patron. I mean, I like Steven Universe, so unlike say the Street Fighter comics, I'd at least have a background of what the hell I'm talking about. What do you think of DC's The New Frontier? Love The New Frontier. It's Silver Age nostalgia, I think, has taken a back seat as of late, so that's probably a good thing. But for what it was optimistic and nice, and loved Darwin Cook's art. So yeah. Hey, thanks for getting me into comics. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry I've gotten you into this medium because just so many things.
It'll also suck your wallet dry.
Yeah. Marvel: The Last Generation. Have not read that. I liked Action Comics #1000. I was very happy that there was a story that was a follow-up to Action Comics #1, where we meet the guy whose car was destroyed by Superman on the cover. Because, oddly enough, for #1000, they had like a dozen different variant covers, but none of them were like an homage to Action Comics #1. Superman holding the car over his head, and that kind of bugged me. And I know it's a stupid thing to be bugged about. It's like, come on, man, go back to the start. But that story was great, and it brought things back full circle, and I liked all the stories in it. Batman storyline: Death of the Family, not Death in the Family, but Death of the Family. Yeah, sorry if I'm gonna miss a couple of these questions. I'm gonna do my best here. Power Rangers Beast Morphers. It's not out yet, so I have no thoughts on it. Death of the Family. That's the one where the Joker tries to break up the Bat family. I don't like it when the Joker is always 3 steps ahead of everybody else. And frankly, the break for a story called Death of the Family, it was more like temporary breakup of the family. Temporary break of the family. Because, of course, they just went through a traumatic experience where they thought their faces had been cut off because, the Joker. Of course they need some time apart. I don't see it as, them never ever getting back together again. It just, we need a break from each other for a bit. So yeah, I don't have really strong feelings about that. Do I read Funky Winker Bean? No, I do not. Ask David Willis.
What about Contest of Champions? What about Contest of Champions?
There's a lot of things I could say about Contest of Champions. For example, have you... Let me see, I'm trying to get my... Have you shown your support for Team Pylo, as demonstrated by this shirt behind me? Thoughts on Dark Knight's Metal or White Knight? I have not seen anything with White Knight. Dark Knight's Metal just didn't grab me. I don't know what it is about it. This seems like it would be something right up my alley, and I read through all of it, but it was not compelling to me. I don't know. Maybe if I read through the whole thing from start to finish, I will feel differently, but I just didn't have that same kind of reaction to it. I know lots of people loved it. I don't hate it. It's just like, eh. How Rebirth's been treating Tim Drake. Poor guy has no friends outside the Bat family. Yeah, I think part of that is carryover from the New 52. When video game comics, your video game comics need an update. Want the Halo comics? Maybe. I could do I have never done the Halo comics, so and I played Halo back in the day, so that might be fun.
Have you continued playing Halo though?
No. Hannibal Ledger, who's your definitive Joker? Oh, Mark Hamill, hands down. Hands down, definitive Joker. And I like how every Joker they bring, each performer brings their own thing to it, but Hamill just is the Joker's voice in my head. Any thoughts on 2000 AD? It sure is an anthology from the Brits. I got no other thoughts. Congrats on 500 episodes. Thoughts on DC Bombshells, if this hasn't been asked yet anyway. Yeah, no thoughts about that either. It's cute pinups, but that's all I got. Best and worst of the MCU. Best is arguable. I like, the original Avengers. I like all the Captain America movies. They great track record. Each one of them is fantastic. Thor Ragnarok I loved. I loved Infinity War. Worst is probably Thor the Dark World, but that's mostly because it's so forgettable. Why am I feeling that Pylo wins through staring contests? Well, that depends on Pylo, getting to choose the contest.
Which, of course, is completely and totally random.
Any plans to review a comic with Damien in it? Technically, I have done one with Damien in it, which actually we are going to be showing that episode later today. But we'll probably cover something with Damien more closely later. What do you think of Justice League Gods and Monsters? Should they do more stories from that universe? I'm not as big a fan of dark alternate universes these days. Were you the reason why the value thrift near my house was full of ROM comics for a while? Well, first of all, yes. Secondly, yeah. Iron Man 2 is not the most forgettable because, at least with Iron Man 2, I don't hate it. I can see why you'd say it's forgettable. I don't think it's horrible like some people say. But Iron Man 2 at least has the suitcase armor, and I love the suitcase armor scene. Let's see, we're at 124. In a few minutes here, we'll start up another thing. Might do another stream with Count Jackula. I wouldn't be against that. I love Jack. I love him so dearly.
Oh, come on. That's not right saying he won't be as popular as the Bee Gees. I mean, come on. He already has more Twitter followers than the Bee Gees.
I know, right? Any future Chick-fil-A comic reviews in the works? Yes, we're going to do another Amazing Cow Heroes comics for the 10th anniversary. I won't tell you which one. But, we're doing more of those. Who else thinks this slow mode is annoying? Yeah, but, how many viewers do we got right now? We got 1,268 viewers, and a lot of them are trying to type in the chat, we need slow mode.
Yeah. I mean, even for slow mode, this is fast.
Iron Man 2 also introduced us to Black Widow, yep.
Oh, by the way, someone asked, is the mic on?
Would you do another Pokemon crossover with Wade? Definitely. Will you do another Asterix review? Yeah, maybe, but more likely as a Patreon-sponsored one. Have you watched read Rose of Versailles? No, I have not. Thoughts on Mr. Miracle so far? I've only read the first handful of issues of it, but I loved it so far. God, so much talking voice. How you can appreciate this?
If you could make a cameo in a comic book movie, which one would it be?
I'd love to be in one of the Avengers movies. Any plans to review more JoJo Bizarre Adventures? No immediate plans, but the fans love their JoJo, so I would not be surprised if there was another patron review for more of it, especially for Stardust Crusaders. Which, yeah, I read the, like I said, in the Diesel review, I read more of the, the first arc of Stardust Crusaders just in anticipation. Read any indie comics or just from the big two? And most of the indie stuff I read is pretty much, franchise stuff, Stargate, Invader Zim, that kind of thing. Congratulations on 500. Thank you. Have I read Hansi, the Girl Who Loved the Swastika? No, I have not. I keep thinking I'm going to get around to reviewing it because because the thing about Hansi, the Girl Who Loves the Swastika is actually an anti-Nazi comic, but it's also a Christian propaganda comic. So it's that delicate balancing act. I wonder if I should try to lower the latency of the webcam because it's not very smooth right now.
I don't know. That might also just be the stream because I'm looking at the spinning logo up there and it's also kind of choppy for me. So I don't know if that's the webcam or the stream.
Probably part of it is the chat window going down. Is your challenge going to be Duel Monster Battle? Maybe. I'm not going to say anything. Have you read Saga, one of the few good Image comics? Oh, there's plenty of good Image comics. When I review Image stuff, it's usually early Image because early Image is garbage. Thoughts on Super Sons of Tomorrow? I personally loved it and was fun and thought it was fun, especially with Jonathan Samuel Kent, aka Superboy, and Damian meeting Titans of Tomorrow. It was all right. I dark future stuff. Although the fact that it was the pre-New 52 Titans of Tomorrow was kind of weird. But then again, who knows what the future may hold, especially with Doomsday Clock. I read that Winnick wrote Nightwing like he was Jason Todd in disguise. Yeah, I read that too, but that still seemed off to me. Because while it was one thing if it was if his close friend should be able to tell the difference. Are there any comics or comic-based adaptations that you initially hated but now like or love or vice versa? And have I ever read Unbeatable Squirrel Girl? I freaking love Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Comic adaptations I used to hate but now love. Yeah, pass. Yeah, nothing immediately comes to mind. I don't think my gut reaction tends to be pretty good. As a kid, I liked Batman and Robin, but I was a kid. As in the Batman and Robin, the Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy movie. Any thoughts on the new Exiles book? First 2 issues were great. Love them. Can't wait to see what we get next. Any hints on the 500th episode? It's a comic. All right, as it happens, we're about to hit 1:30, so we're going to start this 500th episode celebration in a minute here with the first episode of the show altogether, which will give me 11 minutes to give my throat a break. We'll just wait for the actual time to turn over here. And we'll be back in a little bit, where a lot of this is going to be videos until we hit the Jackbox games and all that. It'll give me a chance to contact some people. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man, the one who lives on Drury Lane.
That's the one.
Congratulations, the 500th question. Why is Gamora? Why not Gamora? Okay, let's switch over to our first episode here. The very first episode of Atop the Fourth Wall, and that crappiness, because let's face it, things have evolved a bit in the last 500 episodes with Spider-Man number 56.
Howdy y'all, Game Show Reviewer here with a little Atop the Fourth Wall trivia for you. If it feels like the conclusion of Jarrus' storyline where he gets reunited with his wife and returns to his home dimension was rushed, that's because it kinda was. Let's take a look here. Will Wolfgram, who plays Jarrus, got a new job in Texas that forced him to move down there, thus making him unavailable to continue playing Jarrus or Snowflame. While Snowflame never really required to be written out of the show, it had been a reoccurring thing to try to get Jarrus back home, so that required some kind of conclusion. As such, the idea that his wife was looking for him and that the resistance had overthrown the repressive government was put together. However, the original plan was that somewhere down the line, there would be an entire storyline where they find his home universe, and Linkara fulfills his promise of going to his home universe to help. It was obviously very long-term planning, but the idea was there. You're watching the Atop the Fourth Wall 500th episode live stream celebration. Stay tuned.
All right. And we're back. So, bit of clarification for those who are just joining us. We are not showing the 500th episode on the stream. That got rescheduled to Wednesday because, as you may have heard, I'm having some voice issues right now. But yeah, that was the first episode. Woo! Things have obviously changed quite a bit, haven't they, Game Show Reviewer?
Yes, they have. And I was about to say, backstory.
One thing I do have to adjust. Nash was telling me about this. Pardon my dust here. I'm gonna adjust the webcam stuff. Yeah, gotcha. And I seem to be under attack. Actually, I can't adjust the webcam from here. I can't because I have to go into like the webcam menu, the separate element thing. Vega is throwing plushies at me.
Well, actually, I'll tell you what. I'll just explain right quick. If you go ahead and go to the full screen, this will just take the webcam full screen. You won't be able to see the web chat briefly.
All right, guys. These are about to get weird. Ah! Full screen! Video capture device properties. Configure video.
This is live troubleshooting.
Live, everybody. Auto gain has been disabled already. There was one thing he recommended, which was like autofocus. It should be disabled, so I'm disabling autofocus.
New Game Show Reviewer episodes whenever I get a chance to do them. I might have to ask my boss about that. Boss?
No.
I have been forbidden from continuing Game Show Reviewer. You heard it right here, folks.
Aren't you a god? Well, stream over. I'm dead.
And that was my contribution to the stream. Bye, everybody.
Vega, best pony. Holy crap, it's Linkara. Leave it full screen. We have a chat window anyway. Yeah, but for, when we post this up again later.
Yeah.
Will there be another Long Box of the Damned Midsummer's Nightmare? I'm hoping to do one this year. We will see. It's not a screwdriver joke here, so again, should I be trying to get noticed like this? Any thoughts on Young Animal run of Doom Patrol? Have not read it. Did you miss my previous super chat? I probably did, I'm sorry to say. Getting ponies thrown at you, taste the friendship and the love. Congrats on your 500th episode. We'll be glad to see it on Wednesday. Cheers. Yep. And thanks again for joining me out for this, even though, like this. When am I going to continue my review of the 1970s Battlestar Galactica? Not this year, but I'd love to go back to it. There's a lot of comics that. Hi Viga, finally found your channel and subscribed. Oh yay! She likes subscribers. I think we all like subscribers, but yeah. I've seen the original Pacific Rim. I still haven't seen the sequel. I loved the original.
For anyone asking me, I have reviewed Supermarket Sweep.
On John Byrne, Superman, Batman Generation. Sorry, go ahead.
My greatest game show of all time. Sorry, I know this is a comic live stream, but someone was asking. I'm gonna say Press Your Luck.
I do not have a guilty pleasure comic, nor have I read Batman, Superman, Generations, the three comics. Okay. Have you heard of Jawbreaker's comic Indiegogo? Ethan Van Sciver will do the cover. I think I've heard of that. I don't know anything. I can't say for sure about anything right now. Favorite and most hated Megazord. Favorite is probably just the original. I don't really have a hated Megazord. The Megazords all kind of blur together after a while just because of so many of them. Question for Viga. What's she think of the new My Little Pony comic? She will have to answer that when she's, back downstairs.
Super chat window, or a super chat question I saw just a minute ago was, what's your favorite voice to do for Atop the Fourth Wall?
Definitely, I'm assuming in terms of, characters in the comics, probably the Miss Wilson voice, which I only recently realized is just the fat grandma voice, but not as intense. I already answered the favorite MCU film question earlier. Sorry about that. The Dojinshi reviewer has invaded. Haha. Oh, hey, Zero Ryoko, I like you. Zero Ryoko's a good guy. He did the new logo, the CG logo on the more recent theme song.
And I remember I was offering to do a 3D logo, which I finally did up there. You can see it in the corner. Until you remembered that you had that one. I'm like, yeah, take that one. That's better than anything I could do on short notice.
I'm trying to remember what I have scheduled here. Let's see. We're going to do another episode in a bit. But let's do a little bit more Q&A.
By the way,
favorite workout. Sorry, go ahead.
Just apologizing to the stream if you hear my dog barking in the background. Just a heads up. Sorry about that.
Will the Vibrant comic be as bad as Holy Terror? No, but that's only because Holy Terror is the worst. Do you like the Venture Brothers? Never watched any of it. I hate that most of these answers are I've never seen it, never read it. Would you review Dennis O'Neill's Run of the Questions or Bob Budiansky's Nighty Sleepwalker run for Marvel? Sure. Yeah. I've only seen one episode each of both, and I liked them just fine. By the way, anyone fan of the Dot Hack franchise? All right, is anybody a fan of the Dot Hack franchise? This guy needs to know. I watched a bit of Dot Hack back in the day when I was much more into anime. What music do you listen to? I listen to a little bit of everything. I have not seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V. Is there a top fourth wall voice that hurts your throat for some reason? Moarte's voice hurts if I don't constantly drink water. Speaking of, that wasn't a question, just a donation. Thank you.
Moarte technically isn't an Atop the Fourth Wall character.
Technically. What are plans for WTF Moments 2018? That's not going to be this year, considering the format I have, but I'm definitely going to do that in a succeeding year, maybe 2019, maybe 2020. I can't remember which one we're on now.
This year is Screw-Ups, is it not?
I think so. Especially for the 10th anniversary, we should do some more Screw-Ups. Either that or another missed opportunities.
Screw-Ups. Anything the game show reviewer was involved in.
Thoughts on Tom King's Batman? I'm trying to remember what his run is. Favorite generation of Pokemon is Gen 2. Fight me. Gen 2 has the Maripline, Donphan, Cyndaquil. There's Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet alone should win it. Ho-Oh, which is pretty much my favorite legendary. So yeah, Gold, Silver, Gen 2. Togepi. Freaking Togepi, man. You gonna review the bad Superman and Wonder Woman New 52 series? No immediate plans, but I probably should do that because I heard it was just god awful. Always wanted to support you in some way, Lewis. Thank you. Have you ever collected any Marvel Masterworks? No, I have not. At least nothing comes to mind. Okay. Do you think anyone would watch a review show about plays, musicals? Your show has inspired me. Oh, looks like the stream's having some issues.
If all the text went black, just refresh the
Oh, there we go. I think it was just my computer having issues. As for a show about musicals, Paw used to have musical movies.
That's right,
he does not do that anymore, but I know that he had an audience. So, yeah, there's definitely an audience out there for plays and musicals. So I say go for it. Here's a donation. Batman TMT comic do you like? I think I have like the first issue of it, but I haven't read any of it. I just know the infamous panel of Batman talking with the Turtles over Crime Alley and saying, "This is where my parents were killed, Raphael." Any plans to review Spider-Man Reign? Yeah, probably. Just like a blatant ripoff of Dark Knight Returns. And also, Spider-Man killing Mary Jane in its backstory with his radioactive sperm. Yeah, yeesh. How'd you come up with the name Linkara? Okay, back when I was 14 years old, I wrote these crappy self-published fantasy novels, and the prophesized hero in them was named the Linkara. And I came up with the name Linkara because while I've never played Legend of Zelda, I like the name Link, so I just went with Link there. 3 RT-related questions. I'm going to scroll up to see that one again. Have you ever gotten Rooster Teeth-related questions. Have you gotten around to watching RWBY? No, I have not. As a Red vs. Blue fan, what did you think of Season 16? I loved it. Have you ever had an experience with the Halo games or EU themselves? I played like Halos 1 to 3 back in the day when they came out, but I have not played any Halo games in a long time. Have you read Avengers No Surrender? If you have thoughts. I have not read Avengers No Surrender. I'm sorry.
And as for how you mail stuff to Linkara, there's a P.O. box. The address is on the website.
Thank you for a Top4thWall show and all the joy it brings. Thank you. Let's see, what are thoughts on MCU President's plan of being Moon Knight in the future further? I still have not read any Moon Knight. I know basically nothing about Moon Knight, but I know he's a fan favorite that people want me to do something with. Have you seen the leaked photos of the Teen Titans live action show? Yes, I have. I prefer to judge things based on the actual end product and not anything beforehand. Comicron 1 versus a Covenant Corvette. What wins? Comicron 1. I'm just going to say it because I'm kind of biased. Danny Chase or Danny the Street? Who's the better Titan? Danny Chase, because Danny Chase is my favorite superhero. Excuse me. Will you ever see Mira Linkara again? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see what I'm feeling. Why so many dead children in the backstory? I don't know, man. It just kind of happens.
Hold on. What do you mean so many? By my count, there's 2.
Yeah, but still.
Okay, yeah. Admittedly, too many, but still.
When there's a non-negative number. Have you finished Trouble? If not, will you? Yes, I will finish Trouble. I'm not done yet. I'm pretty sure I'm doing another issue of Trouble this year. But yeah, we'll finish it off because it's only like 5 issues. Did Game Show Reviewer ever see that Comicron 2 concept I sent you? I don't recall if you did.
Did you send it via? It's good. Yeah, I'm still. I just got to disconnect loading here, so give it a second. It comes back a little bit. Yeah.
Get in the damn robot. You first. You're not paying me. Actually, wait. You are paying me. Okay, I'll get in the damn robot. We're going to have another blooper collection video in the future. Yes, I've actually been saving a bunch of episodes that I know I have blooper stuff. I have bloopers from the crossover with the Nostalgia Critic. I have storyline bloopers. So yeah, we're definitely going to do that. And I got to re-upload the old bloopers video to YouTube as well. All right, it's about 1:57 here, so we are going to switch over to another episode. See, what do I got on the docket? What was I going to play first originally before we decided to do the first episode? Here we go. We are going to do Green Lantern number 23.1. Let's get some new 52 in on this stuff. So, be back in about 20 to 30.